Hare Krishna, Shobna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vanita Mataji. Thank you so much for joining, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, is that Pandav Arjun Das?
Yes,
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna.
thank you.
We'll start soon. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today's reciters are Pandava Arjun Das in Sanskrit and Vanita Mataji for English, reciting from Canto 3, Chapter 30, verses 1 to 17. Today, we also have bhajan tonight with Mamta Mataji singing the bhajan at 8:40 and dear Devika reading the English recitations. The bhajan name is Pralaya Payodi Jale. When you're ready, Pandava Arjundas, please start with invocation 3 times. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kapilo Vacha. Tasya Janono Nam Nayam Vedoro Vikramam. Kalyamano Pibalino Vayor Iva Ghanavali.
The personality of God had said, As a mass of clouds does not know the powerful influence of the wind, the person engaged in material consciousness does not know the powerful strength of the time factor by which he is being carried.
Yam yamartham upadate dukena sukha hetave tam tam dhunoti bhagavan pumanshachati yat krite.
Whatever is produced by the materialist, which great pain and labor for so-called happiness, the Supreme Personality as a time factor destroys, and for this reason the conditioned soul laments.
Yat adruvasya dehasya sanubandasya dharmate druvane manyate mohat grihakshetra vasunecha.
The misguided materialist does not know that his very body is impermanent and that the attractions of home, land, and the wealth which are in relationship to that body are also temporary. Out of ignorance only, he thinks that everything is permanent.
Janturvai bhava etasmin yam yam yonim anuprajet tasyam chala salabhate nivritim na virajate.
The living entity, in whatever species of life he appears, finds a particular time of satisfaction in that species, and he is never averse to being situated in such a condition.
Narakosti apodeham vai napumam syaktum ichate narakyam nivritau satyam devamaya vimohita.
The conditioned living entity is satisfied in his own particular species of life, while deluded by the covering influence of the illusory energy. He feels little inclined to cast off his body, even when in hell, for he takes delight in hellish enjoyment.
Atmajaya sutagara pashudravena bandushu nirudhamulai hridaya atmanam bahumai niti.
Such satisfaction with one standard of living is due to deep-rooted attraction for body, wife, home, children, animals, wealth, and friends. In such association, the conditioned soul thinks himself quite perfect.
Nandadhyamana sarvanga esham udvahanadana karotya viratam mudho duritane durashaya.
Although he is always burning with anxiety, such a fool always performs all kinds of mischievous activities with a hope which is never to be fulfilled in order to maintain his so-called family and society.
Akshiptatmendriyastrinam asatinam samayaya rahorachitayalapai shishunam kalabashanam.
He gives heart and senses to a woman who falsely charms him with Maya. He enjoys solitary embraces and taking with her, and he is enchanted by the sweet words of the small children.
Griheshu kutadharmeshu dukhatantresha tandrita karvanduka pratikara sukhavan manyate grihi.
The attached householder remains in his family life, which is full of diplomacy and politics, always spreading miseries, and controlled by acts of sense gratification. He acts just as counteract the reactions of all his miseries. And if he can successfully counteract such miseries, he thinks that he is happy.
Arthar Upaditer Gurvya Yusayata Statashatan Vishnati Yesham Poshena Cheshabhuk Yatyadha Swayam.
He secures money by committing violence here and there, and although he employs it in the service of his family, he himself eats only a little portion of food purchased, and he goes to hell for those whom he earned the money in such an irregular way.
Vartayam Lupyamanayam Arabdhayam Punapana Labhabhibhuto Niksatva Rartya Kurate Spriham.
When he suffers reverses in his occupation, he tries again and again to improve himself. But when he is baffled in all attempts and is ruined, he accepts money from others because of excessive greed.
Kutumbha Kalpo Mandabhagya Vrithodhyama Shiyavihina Kripano Yayan Shvasita Mudhadhi.
Thus, the unfortunate man, unsuccessful in maintaining his family members, is bereft of all beauty. He always thinks of his failure, grieving very deeply.
Evam Svabharana Kalpam Tat Kalatad Kalatradayastadha Nadriyanti Yadha Purvam Kinashaiva Gocharam.
Seeing him unable to support them, his wife and others do not treat him with the same respect as before. Even as miserly farmers do not accord same treatment to their old and worn out oxen.
Tatrapya Jato Nirvedo Driyamana Sayambrite Jarayo Pata Vairupya Marana Bhimukho Grihe.
The foolish family man does not become averse to family life, although he is maintained by those who he once maintained. Deformed by the influence of old age, he prepares himself to meet ultimate death.
Este Avamat Yopanayastam Grihapala Ivaharan Amayavya Pradiptagnir Alpaharo Alpacheshtataha.
Thus he remains at home, just like a pet dog, and eats whatever is so negligently given to him. Afflicted with many illnesses such as dyspepsia and loss of appetite, he eats only very small morsels of food, and he becomes an invalid who cannot work anymore.
Mayunot Karama Totara Kamhasam Rodhanadika Kasashvasa Kritayasa Kanthe Gora Ghorayate.
In that disease conditions, one's eyes bulge due to the pressure of air from within, and his glands become congested with mucus. He has difficulty breathing, and upon exhaling and inhaling, he produces a sound like gura gura, a rattling within the throat.
Ayana Parishodshadbhi Parivita Sabandhubhi Vachamano Pina Brute Kalapasha Vasham Gataha.
In this way, he becomes under the clutches of death and lies down, surrounded by lamenting friends and relatives. And although he wants to speak with them, he no longer can because he is under the control of time. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Oh, sorry, we've still got to do? No.
Hare Krishna Mataji, we have to go to 17, please. 1 to 17.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Mataji.
done
My
17.
apologies. My apologies.
So you've done 17.
I think we did Shubhna Mataji, we did do 17.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we've done 17.
Yeah, okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Apologize for mistakes I've done. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for the nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
For some reason, my camera's not working at the moment, and nothing's playing up on my computer system. For some reason, I've lost everybody else's images. I'm just going to log out and log back in again.
Okay, Prabhuji, we can hear you very well.
Yeah, but I can't see. Normally, you get a Zoom screen with everybody's faces, but I'm not getting that at the moment. I'm just going to log out and log in. Okay, and then my camera's still working. Somebody's been playing with my computer, so do forgive me if you can't see my face, but it's actually even better news for all of you. I'm just going to share my screen.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Just let me know if you can see the screen.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. How is everybody? Okay. That's good.
Feeling relieved that it's not so hot anymore.
Yes, definitely. It's lovely now.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's slightly milder, but also at the same time, it was really nice when the weather was really nice and warm and
Yes,
hot,
it
because
was.
because we haven't had that kind of weather since school days.
Yes.
I remember school days we used to be out in the park till so late in the night playing games. But we should have been singing and dancing Krishna consciousness kirtans. But nonetheless, we're all here because of the will of the Supreme Lord and by the association of the Vaishnavacharyas. So I'll be reading from verses from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Status Quo, Chapter 30, which is entitled Description by Lord Kapila of Adverse Fruitive Activities. So this is a continuation of many chapters where Lord Kapila is instructing his mother, Devahuti, who is the wife of Kadamba Muni, the great sage, who was the son of our Lord Brahma. And Devahuti was actually the daughter of King Manu. So if you can imagine, King Manu is the father of mankind. He had beautiful, royal, opulent palaces, and Devahuti had hundreds of thousands of maids at serving her, but she actually left all this to serve Kadamba Muni. And she was actually feeling very bereft because while she was serving Kapila Dev, while she was serving her husband, Kadamba Muni, she lost all her sort of her beauty, her health had deteriorated. She sort of, her life force was very low as well because she was constantly serving her husband so nicely, and her husband obviously felt a little remorse that he neglected her as well in one way, and she desired to have some children. So Kadamba Muni's expanded himself into 9 personalities. From each of those 9 personalities, he got 9 beautiful daughters, and the 9 beautiful daughters, on the instructions of Lord Vishnu, he requested Kadamba Muni and Devahuti to allow them to be married to the great sages like Vasishtha, great sages like Marichi, and I think there was some other sages as well, basically 9 great sages. But then even when Kadamba Muni was leaving because he wanted to take sannyas. He didn't really want to get married, didn't want to have any household duties at all. Still, Devahuti was feeling very, very sad and remorse. So she asked, husband, please help me. So because Kadamba Muni had some spiritual ability, because of his quality, his devotion to Lord Vishnu, he assured her that, don't worry, because of your faith and serving me so nicely while I was meditating, while I was performing puja, yajnas on the Supreme Lord, everything that I actually, any devotional service that I required, sadly, you are also guaranteed to have part of that punya as well. And so she actually had the good fortune of having the Supreme Lord actually within her womb, and that particular child was Kapila Dev, who is now teaching her all the different processes of Sankhya philosophy and also devotional service. And now we're going more specifically to the material elements of the life itself. So I'll start off with Canto 3, Chapter 30, Verse 8. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayan Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narotanam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashashu Bhadreshu Nitya Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavata Mutam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki Akshipatamindriyantrinam Asatinam Chamaya Yaya Racho Rachitaya Lape Shishunam Kalabasinam. Translation: He gives heart and senses to a woman, falsely charms him with Maya, enjoys solitary embraces and talking with her, and is enchanted by the sweet words of the small children. So one thing I forgot to mention earlier on, I just wanted to say thank you to Pandavarjuna Prabhu and Vanita Mataji for reciting the Sanskrit and English translation. Thank you very much to you. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Family life within the kingdom of illusory energy, Maya, is just like a prison for the eternal living entity. In prison, a prisoner is shackled by iron chains and iron bars. Similarly, a conditioned soul is shackled by the charming beauty of a woman, by solitary embraces, and talks of so-called love, and by the sweet words of his small children. Thus he forgets his real identity. In this verse, the words Sri, Srinam, Masatinam indicates that woman in love is just to agitate the mind of a man. Actually, in the material world, there is no love. Both the woman and the man are interested in their sense gratification. For sense gratification, a woman creates an illusory love. The man becomes enchanted by false love, forgets his real duty. When there are children as a result of such a combination, the next attraction is to the sweet words of the children. The love of the woman at home and the talk of the children make one secure prisoner, and thus he cannot leave his home. Such a person is termed in Vedic language a grihamedi, which means one whose center of attraction is home. Grihastha refers to one who lives with family, wife, and children, but his real purpose of living is to develop Krishna consciousness. One is therefore advised to become a grihastha, not a grihamedi. The grihastha's concern is to get out of the family life created by illusion and enter into a real family life with Krishna, whereas the grihamedi's business is to repeatedly chain himself to so-called family life, one life after another, and perpetually remain in the darkness of Maya. Translation once again: He gives heart and senses to a woman who falsely charms him with Maya, enjoys solitary embraces and talking with her, and he is enchanted by the sweet words of the small children. Okay, I'll recite the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksharamanithamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Stapitamina Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Maya Tadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragaratam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivashaka Mitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sita Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Mancha Kalpatura Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaivacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I also like to offer my respectful obeisances and seek the blessings of my spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami, Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Charu Swami Tinamane, and to his founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamane, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vajayane, Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Pashacha Desatarina. Kindly seek their blessings and also the blessings for all the listeners to allow me to speak on the wonderful glories and topics of the Srimad Bhagavatam. May whatever I say be pleasing, truthful, and beneficial, not only to myself, but to all of you as well. So this is a very complicated topic for me, I have to admit, because one of the things I find very difficulty is distinguishing family life and spiritual life. Yes, Srila Prabhupada actually mentions family life within the kingdom of illusory energy is Maya, just like a prison for the eternal living entity. So he mentions that, like a prisoner, he's shackled by chains and by iron bars, because for some reason he thinks that this material world is full of enjoyment. He feels that everything that's provided for him to arouse his senses, touch, taste, smell, sight, hear, see, it's actually using it for the wrong purposes. Sadly, in this mundane world, in this material world, we're also influenced by all the allurements of material energy in the form of beautiful women, beautiful, attractive things that allows us to be attracted to beautiful houses, beautiful cars, beautiful job status. Everything around us is all based on attraction. Let's face it, if you see a beautiful Rolls Royce and a similar Rolls Royce, which is very bashed up, crashed, damaged, a general tendency is to look at a beautiful Rolls Royce because we want to see something which is beautiful. We want something that's pleasing to the mind. We want something which is attractive. And one of the greatest attraction in our life is the attraction to the opposite sex. Now, the material world is based on sexual attraction. If there wasn't sexual attraction, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, then life and progeny would not go on. So then there has to be some level of attraction. But in the next verse, it's very, very beautiful. I won't mention it right now, but it actually shows you how you can adjust your attraction for a woman or a man to another personality who is non-different from the personality within your heart. But getting that attraction is not easy. It's based on a lot of love, affection from a devotional point of view, a lot of dedication, a lot of surrender, a lot of feelings of absorption, for this is a higher taste than what I'm actually tasting right now. Where you have sense gratification, and Lord Krishna, in the form of his external energy, he gives that illusory energy of the form of a woman. It could be in the form of a man as well. Although Srila Prabhupada specifically is talking about a woman in this case, women get attracted to men as well, just like the man gets attracted to a woman. And we have to distinguish ourselves from the different terms in Vedic language. He refers to Grihamedi, which means one whose center of attraction is home. So basically, we're actually falling in love with an attractive woman. We're very attracted by our beautiful children. We build our world around this beautiful woman, beautiful home, beautiful children, and we're actually feeling completely contempt in what we are doing. We think this is the purpose of life, just begetting children, just having a sensual attraction for the opposite sex. But if it's not actually used or dovetailed in a Krishna conscious way, then what is that purpose? What is the use? That woman who is very attractive will sooner or less lose her beauty, lose her divine quality. She'll become very old. She will start getting grey hair. She'll get a wrinkle in her skins. And the man, because he's already attracted because of mature conditioning, he wouldn't see that same woman as he did, say, 20, 30, 40 years ago. It was very attractive to him. He'll have his eyes set on more younger, attractive women. And the women will also have attraction for somebody who has more wealth, somebody who's more loving, more pleasing, more sort of appreciating in whatever she does. Whereas when you're married for many, many years, there's that feeling of infatuation, that feeling of love, that feeling of, harmony, feeling that nobody really matters in my life except for this particular woman or man I love very much, very dearly. I will sacrifice my life. Doesn't matter if it's raining, doesn't matter if it's sunny, doesn't matter if I have any money or no money. Your mind is so fixated in this beautiful person that you feel attracted to, because our heart is conditioned to wanting something which is loving. That is the source of human nature. We want to feel real love. We want to feel expressions of attraction. But that attraction that we have for a material, mundane thing is actually limited. It is temporary. It is not eternal in any way. It fades away. It's like a plant, beautiful plant, may grow to a beautiful sort of bush, giving off beautiful flowers, fragrant flowers. Ultimately, it withers away and dies and perishes. Similarly, human life, we go through this cycle of birth, old age, disease, and ultimately death. But if we see that personality that we're with and arrange it in such a way that we actually serve one another in a Krishna conscious way, that infatuation, which actually was there at the beginning, we're feeling head over heels for somebody that we're very attracted to. But if we turn it into a way, my dear Lord, how can I engage myself? How can I engage my wife? How can I engage my husband in a way to serve you? You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is nothing unknown to you. But please let me overcome my weaknesses. Let me overcome my desire, my lust. Please allow me to transform my lust into love, pure love. Please transform my greed into one of giving. Please transform my anger to one of happiness. Please transform my desire for anything that I want for myself, but to give it to you first of all. Yad Karoshi, Yad Ashtashi, Yad Jojoshi, Dadasiyat, Yad Tapasya Kotiye, Tad Krishnamanarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, give away, whatever strategy you perform, do that sort of Kotiya as an offering to me. So you may have a beautiful house, you may have a beautiful car, you may have a beautiful partner, beautiful children, beautiful gifts, beautiful surrounding everywhere around you. But learn to give it to Krishna. Say, my dear Lord, this is only possible because of you. You have given this to me. Although it's temporary, please allow me to utilize it in a way that I could bring a Krishna conscious family. Let us serve you. Let us do some service to the temple. Let us make our home into a temple. Let us offer our food to you, Krishna, so we become purified by taking your remnants. Let us perform arti together so we can have the benefits of purification in our house, removing auspiciousness. Please come reside within our hearts so we can serve you unconditionally. When you do that, then that next stage of family or relationship, first you have that infatuation where you're very much in love with somebody. Then the next stage will be that irritation stage. Now, if you're not Krishna conscious, you become irritated by the opposite partner. Perhaps expenditure is very high, perhaps choices of luxury is very high, perhaps even hygienic influences is very, very poorly maintained. They may be snoring, they may not be very hygienic, may not be very clean in their lives. They may be very, very disturbing characters, very angry, very frustrated, very short-tempered, always constantly moaning, groaning, wanting this, wanting that. constantly demanding things again and again, that's when you get to that irritation stage. But when you're in Krishna consciousness, you actually learn to develop to be simple living and high thinking. You don't want things which are necessarily causing you burden. You may have a beautiful house, but the expenditure may be high, maintaining it, the mortgage, ensuring that it's been taken well care of. You want to invite your family, friends, and relatives over to your house, but to maintain it takes a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of energy. Of course, if you have the influence by Krishna's grace to take care of it, then that's so good. But use it for Krishna's purposes. Similarly, if you're sort of constantly demanding, I want this, I want that, I want that, just think around you, around the world. If you have money in your bank account, it said that you are 8% of the richest persons around the world. If you have friends and family members, you're one of the luckiest persons in the world because many people don't have any friends at all. If you have food to eat every day, if you have a home to live in, you're one of the 10 persons, 10% of the people in the world who have that ability in your house. Because our life is very limited to what we see around us. We see TV, we see movies, we see documentaries, we see everything around us. We see social media, everyone's so happy, everyone's so, this illusion of Maya where they're showing false pretense that everybody's happy. I was watching this documentary about this influencer. She became so famous. She had 100,000 followers, and she was a young sort of from an Asian sort of background. And she also got her mother involved as well. But unfortunately, that influence turned into some bitterness, some rivalry, some competition, to that point that she was actually involved in the murder of somebody else. And although they denied this, they said, no, we're influencers. We want to create social media for the harmony and well-being of everybody else. But unfortunately, the influencer and the mother were actually jailed for life, or at least for a long period of time, because they were involved in a murder. It's all to do with bribery, all to do with some unnecessarily sexual sort of discourse in their relationship, and they wanted to exploit one from the other. And this is what it is. If you have attraction for an opposite sex, unless it's actually for the purpose of serving Krishna, then it becomes some sort of false pretense, and not only ruins your life in one form or another. After the irritation stage, you get to that stage of concern, where you have concern of your opposite partner. If you get over that irritation stage, you're having concern, is my partner okay? Her health doesn't seem so well. How can I help her? How can I look after her? What is it that I could do to support my partner? You have this concern, living in harmony, you're living in together. If you come to that stage, then you become real friends, just like the way you had friendship between the infatuation stage. You cared for one another, you were happy to help that person, you were seeing that they were okay in every way, their eating, their health. When you go over these stages, first of all, infatuation stage, irritation stage, concern, you become friends. When you become friends, you see elderly couples holding hands together because they've gone through difficulties in their life, the thick and the thin, family pressures, social life, wealth issues, all sorts of anxiety. Everybody has ups and downs in their life. We cannot deny our life is, happy. We're always full of illusion. We're always full of difficulties in our life. But if we actually put Krishna in the center, even devotees go through difficulties in their life. There's no doubt divorces, even in Krishna consciousness. But somehow or another, a lot of it's to do with our own individual identity, our own ego, our own desire to serve Krishna, our own level of superiority over somebody else. We cannot deny it. Sometimes we feel we're better off than our partner. We want them to be subordinate to us. We want them to serve us. We want them to acknowledge what we want to do. We want to have the priority in our lives over their partner's life. We abuse them, we cheat them, we defeat them in different ways. And yes, there are mature desires that become more prominent, and our Krishna consciousness slowly diminishes. and desires to serve Krishna and his devotee is actually shadowed by our superior feeling of being better than somebody else. We try and have this false pretense. We're very, very nice when we're at the temple. We try and all this illusion that we're very nice. We're donating so much money. I'm doing this service. I'm helping in this particular project, this charity. I give classes. I cook nicely. I do puja service. I'm a very good book distributor. So many ways. We want to impress everybody by showing that we're better than others by doing devotional service. But back at home, we're becoming abusive partners, becoming abusive to our own children, being abusive in different ways. We have to stop that. We, including myself, I can't deny it. Sometimes I have this false prestige. I'm better than others. I'm better than my wife. I'm sort of the authority. I pay for the mortgage. I pay for all the utility bills. I drive everybody from A to B. I pay for everybody's needs. I should be respected in such a way. But slowly, that is slowly fading away in me. Why? Because I'm actually showing my true nature, and it's actually showing that while I'm trying to be a happy person at the temple, but at home, I can be a different person. And when I read more and more, associate with the devotees, listen to Prabhupada's classes, listen to the classes of the senior authorities, what I pretend I am. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, what is that beautiful verse? One who refrains himself from the sense objects, but his mind dwells on such sense objects, so deludes himself. Such a person is called a pretender. If there was a number one pretender, that is definitely me. Because my mind and senses externally, I may try and free myself from not seeing attractive women, not having to eat too much, not having a beautiful house or car or whatever it is. But inside my mind said, gosh, I need more money. I need something more better in my life. I need some sort of respect. I need somebody to show I'm an authority. But no, that actually diminishes the quality of one's devotional life. There is another verse I wanted to share, but for now I won't share it because it is a strong verse. Maybe I could just ask the audience, the devotees, do you know any beautiful stories from the Bhagavatam, from any of the Vedic scriptures, where somebody's become attracted to a beautiful woman or beautiful feature and they've actually fallen down in their spiritual journey? From the Srimad Bhagavatam, can you name of a wonderful personality who was actually a Brahmin by birth? He performed all his duties, then he saw a prostitute, and
Ajamil?
very good. Is that Sirisha
Yes.
Mataji? Would you like to say a bit more, please, rather than me speaking?
Ajmila?
Yes, Ajamil. Sirisha Mataji, she's just going to say a few words about why he fell down and what was the consequences.
Ajamil was born in a nice Brahmin family. He had nice Vedic upbringing. But once when he went to collect firewood in the forest, he happens to see a Shudra woman or a Pingala woman who is having, he sees them in inappropriate condition. But because of just one such sight, his mind gets deviated and he starts living with that woman, and because of that he neglects his wife, dutiful wife, dharmapatni, and then he starts neglecting his parents, and then he, because of that, he starts and get brahmanical works anymore. He starts stealing and he has children with that woman. And
Yeah,
then at the
Yeah.
end when he
carry on. Yeah,
just at the moment, because of some good karma, he names his last son as Narayana. And just when he was about to die, he just calls his son out of affection when he sees Yamadutas. And because of him calling the god's name Narayana at the end of death, Vishnu Dutas come to fight the Yamadutas.
that's very good. Thank you so much. So you can see the contrast. Ajamil was actually a pure Brahmana. He performed all his Vedic rituals, but because he saw somebody or saw a couple performing unwanted sort of thoughts in his mind came to him, and he immediately wanted to associate with that same lady as well. And he fell down and he became a very, very intoxicated. He started gambling. He started doing all the things which were against the Vedic principles. But somehow or another, by naming his son Narayan, he was able to save himself from the Yamadutas. Can anyone name any other personalities who perhaps saw some sort of attraction to the opposite, or some sort of objects that were performing certain situations and then they got distracted?
Prabhuji Bilwa
I think
Thakur and
Yes, very good. Who said that?
It's
Kirtida?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
Kirtida Tulali Mataji. Could you say a few words on that? Viva Mangal Chakra.
Yeah, it's same like it's even Bilba Mangal Thakur ji was very learned, and but he became so much attached to Chintamani that one day, because then he neglected his spiritual duties as well, and one night despite like so much weather was not good and dangerous conditions were there, obstacles were there, and he was to correct me, Prabhuji, he was performing the rituals for his father.
Yes, that's right. That
And
same day, his
yeah,
father had
same
passed
day,
away.
and he even told at that time, because his mind was there at Chintamani, so he said that, do the rituals quickly. So because he wanted to go to Chintamani, and then he finally, when he arrived, so then Chintamani was so much shocked that how much obsession was there. So then basically she became a guru for him then, because she told him that if this dedication you have shown for the God, then your life will transfer. Because what am I? It's just a blood, flesh, bones. You are attracted to what? You are attracted to this. So then his eyes open, and yeah, and then again he left everything, and then while going to Vrindavan, again he got attracted to the lady, and then he asked that lady, you give me your hairpin, and then because she didn't understand why he's selling, and then he took those pins and he pricked his eyes, because he said, because my senses these. So that's why he did. Correct me, Prabhuji, if anywhere I went wrong, please.
No, very good. Thank you so much. There's a further continuation. And actually, those of you who perform Purushottamana remember the beautiful song, Chaurashtakam. And if you read the meanings, it's absolutely so beautiful. Krishna, he's actually saying, Krishna, I'm in this prison house, but actually you're in my prison house. You are actually in my heart, which is full of darkness, of ignorance, and you can't escape. But you're a thief. You stole the hearts of all the gopis. You stole the heart of all the devotees. But now I'm going to capture you within my heart. This first time I actually read the translation, and I thought, wow, oh my goodness. So many beautiful songs and poems of Krishna that we just tend to not really fully appreciate how beautiful they mean in our lives as well. Yes, so thank you very much, Kirtida Dalali Mataji. There's a couple more stories. So once again, the attraction is very strong. And the other story was the great sage Sobari Muni. He was actually just meditating in the water for thousands and thousands of years. I'm not sure how many years, but he
Jada
got...
Bharata as well.
And Jad Bharat as well. Jad Bharat, he was more attracted to a deer. Not from that point of view, but from taking care of the deer itself. But Sobara Muni, he actually got distracted when he saw a couple of fishes copulating and his mind got disturbed. Similarly, Lord Brahma, he got attracted to his own daughter. Lord Indra, he got attracted to his own guru's wife. And oh my gosh, it's not so easy at all in the spiritual world. That's why we have to try our best to utilize all our senses, just like Ambarish Maharaj, utilizing it in every possible way to use it in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. So we may become weak in one set of senses and stronger in the other, but somehow or another, by constantly praying, my dear Lord, please, Lord, please help me, help me overcome my material desires, help me overcome my lust, my anger, my greed. Similarly, when Brahmananda Swami, when his name was Bruce in the early days when he was still going to college for his studies, this is going back in 1965 in the early days of New York, when Prabhupada started establishing 26 Second Avenue. His tutor had mentioned that the whole world is based on sexual attraction, and he couldn't understand this, and he went to Srila Prabhupada and he said, well, my tutor was saying that the basis of human life is actually based on sexual attraction. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, this is true. The whole purpose of life in this material world is sexual attraction. So it's not an easy subject to talk about all the time. So I was just going to go on a little bit, but basically we have to understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the verse I wanted to show you. Grihashu kuta dhameshu dukta tantrashva nandita gurvanduka pratikaram sakava manyate grihi. Attached soldier remains in his family life, which is full of diplomacy and its politics, always spreading miseries and controlled by acts of sense gratification. He acts just to counteract the reactions of all his miseries. If he can successfully counteract such miseries, he thinks that he is happy. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead himself certifies the material world as an impermanent place that is full of miseries. There is no question of happiness in this material world, either individually or in terms of family, society, or country. Something is going on in the name of happiness that is also illusion. Here in this material world, happiness means successful counteraction to the effects of distress. The material world is all made that unless one becomes a clever diplomat, his life will be a failure. Not to speak of human society, even the society of the lower animals and the birds and bees cleverly manages its bodily demands of eating, sleeping, and mating. Human society competes naturally or individually, and in the attempt to be successful, the entire human society becomes full of diplomacy. We should always remember that in spite of all diplomacy and all intelligence, in the struggle for existence, everything will end in a second by the Supreme Will. Therefore, all our attempts to become happy in this material world simply delusion or fed by Maya. Just for time, I'm just going to go to the next verse, which is probably the verse I was hoping to share with you. Not even in this verse. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to read the translation for time. He secures money by committing violence and here and there. Although he employs it in the service of his family, he himself eats only a portion of the food that's purchased and goes to hell for those for whom he earned the money in such an irregular way. I'm just going to just check if it's in the next verse. Nope, okay. Okay, for some reason I must have missed it. But anyway, just going back to this particular verse. On the purport, it actually goes on about, in this case, by Srila Prabhupada, it mentions about the person for whom I have stolen accuses me of being a thief. So even though he may be a family member, he may be using illicit money, illicit gains of getting something and using that to serve his family just to show some sort of feeling of appreciation. But in effect, it's actually causing not only hellish condition of life to himself, but also to his family. And whatever karma that he will get will also be passed on to his family. Just like it mentions about the laws of karma, if a government is not ruling the nation properly in such a way, not only does the government suffer karmic reaction, but also the inhabitants or residents, the nation also suffers as well in a karmic reaction. And that will be the case because if a leader is actually not abided by the laws of proper government sanctioning or government actions, then certainly calamity will happen. So we can see for ourselves with Saddam Hussein, with the other leader, who was that in Iraq or Iran? I can't remember the name. Osama bin Laden, yes. You can see the way they were actually exploiting all the other people within the nations to show that there is a level of supremacy in their religion, in their law, their nation, and that they should all serve him. While they live in a life of luxury, all the people of the nation, the children, the women, they're all suffering, living on bread and water every day. While calamity took over, then there was a big war. Fortunately, then the whole country, the whole government came to the end of this regime. So that actually shows you the process, which is service, and this illusory service in society, country, and community, certainly the same everywhere. The same principle is applicable to big national leaders. So there's a beautiful verse from the Bhagavad Gita from chapter 3, verse 21, Karma Yoga. Yajya chacharati shreshta stata davetarojana sayal parabam gurute lokastadanurvatate. Translation: whatever action a great man performs, common man will follow. Whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, the world pursues. So if there's a great man, like in the form of King Yudhishthira, King Parikshit, sincerely all the nation follow that particular rituals or performance of governing the whole society. And whenever he sets an example, all the rest of the world pursues. But at the same time, if a person who is infamous starts performing certain activities which is considered to be demeaning, people get blinded, people follow blindly, they do not fully understand the purpose of why he's actually doing certain activities. But in his eyes, he's just saying that our world is more superior than anybody else. I'm more superior than everybody else. There's a level of mistrust, not only from a political point of view, but also from a religious point of view. If you see some of the documentaries about some of the so-called gurus who have sort of established themselves to be supreme in a certain way, to have so many thousands and thousands of followers, they give him all sorts of Rolls Royce, all sorts of jewelry, women fall at his feet, men fall at his feet, then unfortunately they use that in the false pretense of religion, false pretense of devotion. And what happens to them? They eventually diminish. That's why it's so important that you follow the authority of Krishna from the Parampara through Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Just don't follow blindly, but find out for yourself. Be inquisitive, just like as it says, inquire from him submissively, render service unto the spiritual master. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth, not just any old truth, but the absolute truth. The last two verses I'll quickly read. Text 11, just for time. Translation: when he suffers reverses in his occupation, he tries again and again to improve himself. But when he is baffled in all attempts and is ruined, he accepts money from others because of excessive greed. And that's what happens when you see yourself going to a level of high status. There's nothing worse than falling down. And that's what happens to a lot of people in life. They go through high status. Bill Gates, he actually came up with Microsoft, but now look at him. His life is in ruins and tatters because of all the association with Bill Epstein and all the sexual exploitation of young women and children and so forth. And now he's fallen down from grace. Same with great celebrities, they fall down from grace because they've had unnecessary affairs or exploiting money, ruining the lives of not only themselves, but the lives of their family, their children, and causes bad reputation to the whole society. Can we really trust anybody at all? Can we trust a politician? Can we trust a celebrity? Can we trust anybody at all? Can we trust a family, a husband, a wife in any way? Because everybody in this material world wants to exploit one another. Text 12. Translation: thus the unfortunate man, unsuccessful in maintaining his family members, is bereft of all beauty. He always thinks of his failure, grieving very deeply. I'll just quickly share this verse from the Bhagavad Gita to all of you. This is from Bhagavad Gita, the divine and demonic natures, from chapter 16, verses 13 to 15. Once again, for time, let's just read the translation. Perhaps, does anybody want to read this verse at all?
Can I read it, please?
Yeah, Palika Mataji. Yes, so nice to see you back again.
Thank you, just for today. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Palika Mataji. Now, quickly to the audience, can anybody tell me some personalities who fit in this category from the stories of the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, any other Vedic stories from the Srimad Bhagavatam?
I mean, Ravan is one very
Yes, Ravan. Anybody else?
Hiranyakashipu.
Hiranyakashipu. Anybody else?
Yes, yes. All them.
Hiranyaksha.
Sorry, what was that?
Hiranyaksha.
Oh,
is
Hiranyaksha, yep, Hiranyakashipu's brother. What about from the Mahabharata? Could you think of some personalities who decide?
Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra.
Yes, very good. Who said Duryodhana?
Me, Srisha Prabhuji.
Oh, Srisha, could you just say a few sentences? What was it that caused Duryodhana to fall down?
He didn't want to share his kingdom in spite of him being the emperor of Hastinapura. He had so much, but
Yes.
still he didn't want to give even 5 little villages.
Yes,
for
that's
his
right. That's right. He said that I want to even give him a single land that's equivalent to the top of a pin. Can you imagine that? So now you can see what happened to Duryodhana. Even when he was dying, he was criticizing Krishna. You know, you think you're so great. You think you have won me, but you haven't won anything at all. But actually, it just showed you his pride, his envy. If he had just given 5 villages, that war could have been avoided. Krishna, Balaram, they all went to him, pacify him, tried to negotiate with him several times, to that point where he had the audacity to attack Balaram, who was his spiritual teacher. He had the audacity to attack Krishna, who turned to, he even showed him his, so not the same Vishvarupa form as he showed to Arjuna, but a minor form, you know, just like you have a big Krishna, sorry, that's probably not the big example, a smaller version of the universal form. Even then, Duryodhana was so blind he could not recognize Krishna. So it just shows you, even though somebody's telling you, don't have pride, don't have envy, don't have hatred, don't have greed, but these lessons we don't learn until we actually fall down. We can give charity, but do we give charity out of our heart, or is it for recognition, for some fame, some glory, some adoration? So much wealth we have today, and he is my enemy, and I have killed him. But we don't kill any enemy, but we embrace him. We have so much wealth, but we use it for Krishna's service. So there's so many other things I wanted to mention as well. King Vena was another person who's actually supposed to be born in a very pious family, but from a young age, he was actually very demoniac, very unruly as a king. And he actually stopped all the yajnas, pujas, any brahmins reciting any mantras, prayers going on. Eventually, he had to be killed by the brahmanas himself. And all his bones were burned into ashes and scattered everywhere. And from there, I think King Prithu had came from the ashes of the yajna. Thank you very much. Please forgive me for any mistakes. It was a very, very difficult topic for me to talk about. It's partly because sometimes it's not an easy topic to talk about. But I do wish you could all forgive me for any mistakes I made. If there's any comments or questions, we could certainly end there at the end. Well, gosh, the time is 1:45. So I'll pass it on to the devotees who are in charge of the beautiful bhajans for today. Thank you very much, everyone.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, my pranams, so glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained as always. So Prabhuji, for today's bhajan, we have our dear Mamta Mataji, who will be singing a beautiful bhajan as per your request few weeks ago. which is Pralaya Payodi Jale. But before Mataji
Great.
will be doing the English recitation, so I will just share the screen, Devika, for you to. Yeah, okay. Can you see the screen, Devika?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, when you're ready.
Hare Krishna. Translation. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a fish, all glories to you. You easily acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish, just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a tortoise, all glories to you. In this incarnation as a divine tortoise, the great Mandara mountain rests upon your gigantic back as a pivot, for churning the ocean of milk. From holding up the large human mountain, from holding up the huge mountain, a large scar-like depression is put in your back, which has become most glorious. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a bow, all glories to you. The earth, which had become I, emerged in the Garbhodaka ocean at the bottom of the universe, sits fixed upon your tip of your tusk like a spot upon the moon. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a half man, half lion, all glories to you. Lust as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way the body of the wasp, like demon Hiranyakashipu, has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana, all glories to you, O wonderful dwarf. By your massive steps you deceive King Bali, and the Ganges water that has emanated from the nails of your lotus feet. You deliver beings within this world. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Bhargupati, all glories to you. At Kurukshetra, you bathed the earth of the rivers of blood from the bodies of Demonic Kishrayas that you have slain. The sins of the world are washed away by you, and because of you, the people are relieved from the blazing fire of material existence. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who hast assumed the form of Ramakendra, all glories to you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroy the 10-headed demon Ravana and distribute his heads as a delightful offering to the preceding deities of the 10 directions, headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them, who were much harassed by this monster. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Balrama, the yielder of the prowl, all glories to you. On your brilliant white body you wear garments the colour of a fresh blue rain cloud. These garments are coloured like the beautiful dark hue of the river Yamuna, who feels great fear due to the striking of your plowshare. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Buddha, all glories to you. O Buddha of compassionate heart, you decree the slaughtering of poor animals performed according to the rules of Vedic sacrifice. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Kalkai, all glories to you. You appear like the comet and carry a terrifying sword for bringing about the annihilation of the wicked barbarian men at the end of the Kali Yuga. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed these 10 different forms of incarnation, all glories to you. O readers, please hear this hymn of the poet Jagadeva, which is most excellent, an awarder of happiness, a bestower of auspiciousness, and it is the best thing in this dark world. O Lord Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you, who appear in the forms of these 10 incarnations. In the form of Masta, you rescue the Vedas, as Karma, you bear the Mandara mountain on your back. As Vara, you lift the earth with your tusk, and in the form of Nrsimha, you tear open the chest of the Daitya Hiranyakashipu. In the form of Varma, you trick the Daitya king Bali by asking him for only 3 steps of land, and then you take away the whole universe from him by expanding your steps. As Parasuma, you slay all of the wicked Kistariyas, and as Ramachandra, you conquer the Rakasa king Ravana. In the form of Balarama, you carry a plough with which you subdue the wicked and draw toward you the river Yamuna. As Lord Buddha, you show compassion toward all the living beings suffering in this world, and at the end of the Kali Yuga, you appear as Kalki to bewilder the Melakas, degraded low-class men. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear Devika. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. Please accept all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the beautiful class. And today, last time we did, you wanted to hear the song, so I hope I'll be able to fulfill your wish. This is the song Sri Dasavatara Stotram, written by the famous Jayadeva Goswami in the book called Gita Govinda. प्रलय जयोधि जाले धृतवानसि वेदम् विहितवहित्रचरित्रमखेदम् केशवधृतमीन शरीर जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे क्षितिरिह विपुलतरे तिष्ठति तव पृष्ठे धरणि धारण किरणचक्रगरिष्ठे केशवधृत कूर्म शरीर जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे वसति दशन शिखरे धरणी तव लग्ना शशिनिकलङ्क कलेव निमग्ना केशवधृत शूकर रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमलवरे नखमद्भुत शृङ्गम् दलित हिरण्यकशिपुतनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृत नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे छलयसि विक्रमणे बलिमद्भुत वामना पदनख नीरजनित जन पावना
केशवधृता वामन रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे क्षत्रिय रुधिरमये जगदपगत पापम् स्नपयसि पयसि शमित भवतापम् केशवधृता भृगुपतिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे वितरसि दिक्षुरणे दिक्पतिकमनीयम् दशमुखमौलिबलिं रमणीयम् केशवधृत राम शरीर जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे वहसि वपुषि विशदे वसनं जलदाभम् हलहति भीतिमिलितय तयमुनाभम् केशवधृत हलधर रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे निन्दसि यज्ञविधेरः श्रुतिजातम् सदय हृदय दर्शित पशुघातम् केशवधृत बुद्ध शरीर जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे म्लेच्छ निवहनि धने कलयसि करवालम् धूमकेतुमिव किमपि करालम् केशवधृत कल्कि शरीर जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे श्री जयदेव कवेरि मुदितमुदारम् शृणु सुखदं शुभदं भवसारम् केशवधृत दशविधरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे वेदानुद्धरते जगन्ति वहते भूगोलमुद्भ्रते दैत्यं धारयते बलिं छलयते शत्रशय्यं कुर्वते पौलस्त्यं जयते हलं कलयते कारुण्यामान्वते म्लेच्छान् मूर्छयते दशकृतिकृते कृष्णाय तुभ्यं नमः हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम
हरे
राम
राम राम
राम
हरे Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hari
Rama, Hare
Bol,
Hare
Hari
Bol.
Bol, Hari
Thank you
Bol.
so
Very
much.
nice,
Thank you so
Mataji.
much.
Haribol, Mataji, beautifully
Thank you,
sang.
sorry. I'm
So
so,
much
so please
bhav.
forgive me for my mistakes. Thank you so much.
Wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful.
Wonderful.
Thank you,
Thank you, Bhakta
Devika, as
Mataji.
well.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank
And
you.
Devika as well.
Thank you.
Do you want to, you could put your video on Bhakta Mataji so we can thank you
Oh,
properly.
sorry. Prabhuji, I'm so sorry. I become emotional. Whenever that Krishna Tubhyam Namah came, I don't know, my heart became. Sorry, Prabhuji.
No, it's good. At least you had that devotional. It's there was a beautiful song. I went to Sweden last weekend, and basically, His Holiness Keshava Maharaj, he was mentioning,
Yes,
he showed
yes.
a nice video of Govinda Maharaj that for Krishna, you can't just cry for distress reason, but you got to cry for devotion. So please give us a portion of that crying devotion you have to all of us as well. Yes, but the special devotion to especially me. I'm the most fallen here. Thank you. You sang so beautiful, Bhakta Mataji. So
Prabhuji, please
beautiful.
forgive me for the mistakes. Prabhuji. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
I just quickly mentioned that on 16th of July is Rath Yatra in India.
Yes.
So if anybody's happy to sing Jagannath Ashtakam on 19th of July, that's a Sunday.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
think Sriti Kishore Mataji or Narata Mataji organizes the kirtans.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
perhaps I could put a request for anybody who would like to sing.
Well, what we can do, Prabhuji, is each of us can sing a verse. And
Yeah, we
so we
can
get
do it.
everyone involved. It'll be nice.
That would be a good idea, Mataji. Yes.
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 So, okay, that's on the 9th. Did you say 19th of July?
Sunday, yes. I think
Yes.
Sunday is 19th, but 16th is Rath Yatra.
Yes. Okay, we'll organize it. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Mamta
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
can I just do one more Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? Is that okay? A different tune?
Yeah,
Before
sure,
we
of course you
end?
can. Just before you do that, Mataji, I just want to, there's a screenshot which I posted on there. Moglila Prabhu sent it to me by app. So unfortunately, I was supposed to share it earlier on, but I only saw his message last minute. But basically, it's the verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam that we read earlier on. And the other point I just wanted to make was earlier on I was mentioning about the different personalities who have been seduced by beautiful women in the Vedic stories. But there was one story I forgot to miss, and that was Haridas Thakur. So just for 2 minutes, does anybody, Balika Mataji, perhaps because we haven't seen your wonderful, beautiful personality for a long time, Balika Mataji, could you tell us a little bit about Haridas Thakur, the prostitute who came to see him, to seduce him?
Sorry, a bit.
That's an echo.
Mataji has two devices open.
You got difficult for me to add the moment. So sorry.
Have you switched off one device? Are you on special subscription, is it? Get one free. Okay. It's quite an important story because we said about the others who fell down by attracted by women, but there was a certain lesson that we can learn by Haridas Thakur. Okay, perhaps for time, does anybody else want to mention it? Okay.
You can try.
Okay, go ahead, Mamta Mataji. Yeah.
Oh, mine. Is that Haridas Thakur is the...
Oh, sorry. Did
somebody
you say?
else wanted to say, I
oh,
think.
sorry.
Somebody else.
No, that's fine, Mataji.
No, Mataji, please go ahead because
please.
I'm not... No.
Go ahead.
I don't know much.
Please.
All I know is Haridas Thakur ji. He would chant
the Lord's name about more than 300,000 names a day.
23
and
hours.
getting popularity quite a lot. But the zamindar or someone got jealous of him, and so he organized a prostitute to come to him, and the prostitute came one day and started obviously to do the gestures and wanted to entice him. And Haridas Thakur said, just sit here, maybe take obeisances of the Tulsi Maharani, which was there, and I need to complete my rounds, and after that, whatever you want me to do, I'll do that. And so he carried on with his chanting. She took obeisances, took Tulsi leaf, and then and she just sat there, but nothing happened. Whole night went, and nothing happened. And then he said, sorry, I had to do my rounds. And then she said, okay, I'll come again. And then she came again the following day as well, and same thing happened. And then like that, in the end, the third day or whatever, I think she just fell, to his feet, and realized that, this, what she was doing, she owned up that she was sent to entice him. And now, so he said, now I want you to just come here and chant and be a devotee. And I think she became a devotee, and he resisted the advances that she was making. So because he was chanting throughout, and so he had Krishna all the time with him.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
much.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Thank you. That was the part of it important. Her name was Hirabai, and she became a devotee of Krishna as well. Okay, Mamta Mataji,
Wow,
go ahead.
beautiful. Prabhuji, when I sing that song, then you all can follow it. It's just only 3 times Mahamantra, but different tunes.
Yeah,
Very
sure.
good. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I think, but
Okay,
better you carry on now.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's all, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for that. I just wanted to sing that tune because I was feeling so emotional, and I thought I should just calm everybody down a bit. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Any other?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can we ask a question? Have we got time?
Yeah, I mean, certainly if anybody else wants to leave, because I know it's quite late, but yeah, if you want to ask a question, go ahead.
Thank you for the insightful class. It was wonderful. Just wanted to ask, Prabhupada is, he's saying that women, you should stay away from women. And then he's also saying that you should protect women. Brahmana should protect women, and they should be with the husbands and or the son or the father.
Yeah.
So how I don't understand that.
Okay, so the first point that you mentioned, did you say women should stay away from women, or men should stay away from women?
Well, the chapter today is saying that you should stay away from women. Women
Yeah, sure. So there's a specific
are
woman that he was
illusionary,
talking about.
and
Yeah, carry on.
yeah. So and then he's saying, and then I've read. Obviously, he's saying that they should protect the Brahmana. Brahmanas, the father and the son, and should be protected. So I'm confused what he's
Yeah,
saying.
sure. So basically, what it is, the important lesson that we got to learn. So from a devotee point of view, we're actually, first of all, our stages is like brahmachari life. That's the first 25 years. Next 25 years would be grihastha life. Then after that would be vanaprasth. And then after that would be sannyas. The idea is that when we actually become Krishna conscious, we try and see the woman to be a devotee or a servant of Krishna himself. They're meant for Krishna's pleasure. So we should actually try and see a woman in our own sense gratification way. We shouldn't try and see a woman for our pleasure, but certainly for Krishna's pleasure. But at the same time, we all have feelings. We all get attracted to the opposite sex. It's quite natural. But at the same time, from a Vedic point of view, our duty as a son to protect our mother, as our duty as a father to protect our daughter, as our husband to protect our wife. If we're an uncle, of course, protect our niece as well. But we shouldn't actually use a woman for sex as a sex object, as a purpose for satisfying our senses. So when we're actually using the information of what Prabhupada is mentioning down here, is more to do with people who are more in the materialistic point of view, because it's a form of shackling, form of our prison life, where we were like bound by shackles and prison bars, as you mentioned, because when we're actually allured to the woman, the smile, the sweetness, the way they talk, we automatically feel a bit of flutter in our heart. It's quite natural. But when we actually understand we have to protect ourselves, our spiritual identity, our spiritual qualities, and also not be affected by the sweet charm of a woman. And one of the Srimad Bhagavatam verses mentions that Krishna actually shows himself to become like an illusory energy of a woman. And it's so effective that even if she just raises her eyebrow, it could even bring the greatest conquerors down to earth, down to their knees. And we hear stories like Cleopatra, how she brought the great Julius Caesar down to his knees because of her beauty, because of her attraction. The important thing is to understand that a woman shouldn't be misused for sense objects, for personal gain. But when we actually utilize and understand and appreciate the woman is actually for Krishna's pleasure, then we actually serve them in a way to protect them, to take care of them, and not just actually just try and be nice to them just for wanting attention. Similarly, a woman also should be careful how they approach a man, that they want to ensure that they keep their chastity, they keep their sort of reputation in a way, because unfortunately, just a boy and a girl talking together, people get misunderstanding that something's going on, but it isn't the case. It could be just general purpose, is reason for doing devotional service together, assisting in some projects in some way or another. So the topic itself isn't so more specifically to do with exploiting a woman from a spiritual perspective, but also protecting ourselves from the allurements of sense objects, which is lust is the highest sort of sensual feelings that we have for one another. But if we turn that lust into love, then we see a beautiful woman, and we see one of the things that I forgot to mention was that when we actually see something which is beautiful, we try and focus on something which is attractive. In this case, Radharani. There's no more beautiful than Radharani. There's no more chaste than Sitarani. There's no more divine qualities in Srimati Radharani and Srimati Sitarani. So when we see a beautiful woman, we think, oh, she's beautiful, but yet Srimati Radharani is even more beautiful. So it's also saying how we could protect ourselves in a way where you want to be Krishna conscious, don't get trapped into this mature enjoyment of, by the seduction of a woman, but rather utilize your time and energy, just like we mentioned about Haridas Thakur when he was chanting the holy names. You transform the woman of a lower nature to become a devotee herself. I hope that answers your questions, if it's specifically for that point
Yeah,
that
I'm
you're
just
trying to
thinking
raise.
about in the spiritual family we've got at the moment. If the relationship with another devotee is a male, that's okay if we serve each other, isn't it? And
Yeah, that's right.
and we're just
Yeah.
serving each other for Krishna's pleasure, but not each other's, obviously.
Yeah, sure. So because of the Western world is slightly different, because since a young child, we're always mixing with each other, like when we're at school, when we're at high school, when we're at college. It's just a natural thing. There's no sort of feelings of separation. But when you go to a temple, the women stay on one side and the men stay on one side and the women stay on the other side. And now we have to ensure that even though when you work together, there's a level of respect for one another, because you could be a temple president, you could be a man, but still you have to train the women up in such a way they serve within the community in a nice environment, so they're not exploited as well. The temple manager or temple president has to ensure that they protect the women as well, that they're not exploited. But at the same time, they're doing book distribution. You have to take care of the women as well, because they're going out on the streets. And there has been instances where drunkards come around touching women unnecessarily, and the men have to come and protect them as well, push those drunkards away. And there was an incident once as well. I could tell you a story where a drunkard person tried to be very, very too familiar with the women when they were going Harinam. This is going back many years ago. And the men just blasted that guy, pushed him away. Of course, you have to do that. And there is non-violence, of course, in Krishna consciousness, but if you need it to protect the devotees, then you have to do that. You have to break every rule, just like Krishna told Arjuna. You have to fight for Dharma. Now, that particular person got so bewildered, and he just, unfortunately, this is the story I was told in the class, that he got run over by a car. So this is what happens when somebody offends a devotee, especially a woman, because a woman is supposed to be Krishna's groupie. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
So we do look after each other and support each other in every way. But the main point of the theme of today's verses was learning how to protect yourself spiritually and not be endured by the attraction of beautiful women as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It is a very difficult subject. I did actually ask permission if I could finish early, because it's a sensitive topic, and it's the first time I've actually spoken so deeply about it, partly because I'm married, I've got grown-up children, got a daughter, she's 23, son who got married recently, and I've tried to raise them in a way that they're always trying to be respectful, both to their gender and opposite gender as well. And in this modern day of Krishna consciousness, we try our best in a way that we support each other. Many children, you hear wonderful stories where they've actually just been raised in Krishna consciousness, and they fall apart as well, partly because they're wrong association outside of the spiritual environment. They're sort of influenced by school children, college children, going to drinking, drugs, smoking, partying. But somehow or another, Krishna brings them back to Krishna consciousness. That's why it's so important as a community to protect our children in every possible way. And to a point that we have to almost like tell them, this is Krishna consciousness, we behave in such a way, and we don't behave in such a way. And when I was a youth leader within Padavasena, sometimes I had to tell this to the younger children who were quite new to Krishna consciousness, because they didn't understand about free mixing, Why is it not allowed? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Surya Devi Mataji, for that question, and hopefully that answers your question. Thank you everyone as well for staying up so
Thank
late.
you.
And
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Just only one thing I wanted to comment was
sure.
It was a beautiful lesson. You have done it so well, Prabhuji. And I just wanted to say that you said that sentence that obviously even the greatest devotee falls down because of the pride. They think that they are serving their family or whatever it is there. As you said, like you pay for the mortgage, you do this so and so or so and so, where the pride comes in, and then obviously you lose your sense of humility, and then it goes off. And that was such a nice point to remember. So humbleness is something. It starts at home.
Yeah.
And it goes up there.
It isn't easy, because I get to remind my wife as well so many times for certain things, how I should behave and how I should say things and not say things. But because sometimes when we come to the temple, we have tilak, we have dhoti, we're singing bhajan, we have kirtan, and everybody thinks, wow, he's a great devotee, Krishna Govinda Das, but behind the scenes, you don't know what goes
What's
on.
going on,
But
exactly.
that's why it's so important to have counseling, so important to have devotee association, because right now, all of you may be like wonderful, but who knows some of the difficulties some people are facing. And when I was speaking to Kesha Maharaj, I had to speak to him very confidentially. And of course, on confidence, he mentioned certain things as well. And, you know, certain things that people are going through, we just don't realize. So we sometimes have to reach out. They may be smiling externally, but internally they may be brokenhearted. You know,
and maybe this is the one when they come to the temple, that's the best place for them.
It is,
so that they feel so much lighter and so much in their own little space, which is not invaded by anybody.
Yeah. And also, at the same time, Mamta Mataji, His Grace Bhutta Bhavana Prabhu, he gives wonderful classes. And one thing that really stuck in my mind, he said that Krishna consciousness is gone as a place where spiritual family are together, where you actually have people of different nations, different cultures, different backgrounds. Everybody comes in. But still, within Krishna consciousness, within ISKCON, there's still some individuals who feel very lonely, very distant, very separated. And I can tell you many, many devotees who feel like that, partly because there's a little cliquism, partly there's a little groupism, there's a rich group, there's a poor group, there's a people group who are very management orientated, there's a group who are just into certain activities. And we have to really, really break that barrier because the humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision, learned and gentle brahmana, cow, an elephant, dog, and a dog eater. Now, when you respect your spiritual master, you should be respected even the lowest species of animal as well. Why? Because every living entity has a soul. When we say namaste, we're not just saying greetings, hello, how are you, how's your day? We say namaste. I offer my respects, but I offer my pranams to the super soul within your heart. So that's what namaste means. So when we say namaste, we're actually offering our prayers to each person individually. I have been really fortunate because I came into ISKCON since the mid-70s. And I know how devotees behaved and took care of the devotee community. When I used to be a little boy, I used to go to the temple and the devotees used to say, hey, how are you, Kaushik? Would you like some prasadam? Have you eaten? And they would go out their way, give you their plate of prasadam for you. And actually, when you learn that quality, it's not easy. Hey, that's samosa, one left, that's for me. But when you divide it and give it to everybody else, it's actually so much more better. I don't know if anybody served prasadam to the devotees and there's absolutely nothing left. But does anybody have that experience that they feel fully satisfied? Palika Mataji?
It usually happens with the mother. Mother serves everything to the children. And then she doesn't eat at all. Even though, because they feel hungry, she serves everyone. But then she feels happy not eating. This happens in every family, I think.
100%. And that was,
yes, that's very true. Yes. Mothers always, like to feed the children, but not herself. Even, I used to see my mother. At that time, mothers were much more
sacrificing.
Yes, lot of sacrifice. I sometimes used to see, we were 8 in the family, 5 brothers, 3 sisters, and she was the last one to eat, but I would always serve her because I knew that she would not leave anything for her. So that was, I learned from my mother that, I must serve her because she will, otherwise she will not have enough. So she gave me the, understanding that, we need to give, the person who is serving so much, she need to be taken care of,
Yeah, 100%. And that's exactly what Srila Prabhupada did. If you actually read the Prabhupada Leelamrita in the early 65s, 60s, he actually used to cook, used to go out, do the shopping, clean, prepare, cut, do all the offerings, do the serving, everything. And he used to actually wash all the pots because everybody had left and they would have portions and portions. And when you read that story, you think Prabhupada's 70-year-old man.
How much he sacrificed for
Yes,
us. Yes,
how
yes.
much. And that's not even philosophy at all. It's genuine love, care, and affection. And that's why they love Prabhupada so much, because they didn't know much about the philosophy. They didn't really know anything. They got attracted by the food. And that's exactly what Kripacharya, one of the early gurus, he said that, Prabhupada, you cheated us. You know, you gave us all this lovely prasadam, and we got attracted to your prasadam. And I can tell you many devotees who got attracted to Prabhupada's prasadam.
Yes.
Because he's a
Sorry.
purest devotee, isn't he? He's a purest
Pure devotee, absolutely.
Yeah. His knowledge, his dealings is completely different. I remember Brahmananda Swami, he was saying, I heard my spiritual master was reading this together. His life story. He said, when I went first to see Srila Prabhupada, and that time all the Bauris, all the devotees, they used to come here. He said, Prabhupada just he was on the other side of the door, and he just opened, and Maharaj said that I just looked at Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada looked at me, not at me. I just felt he looked in my heart, and he knew who I was as a spirit soul. And he said my tears were running down, and I just surrendered at that moment. He said he knows me, who I am as a spirit soul. You know, so Srila Prabhupada knew exactly who they are as a spirit soul. So
Just like,
that's how he treated them as the spirit soul, not just their outside. So that's why they're so attracted to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada attracted them like a magnet.
he did. And can you remember the story when Radhanath Swami, Richard Slavin, when he went to the program in Bombay, Prabhupada asked him to come and stay on the stage. So they can't imagine 10,000 people, but he asked this personality.
Yes, he said, go and get this boy.
Yeah. And Radhanath Swami, if you see his phenomenal servitude, gratitude towards Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON and what is established around the world, it's phenomenal.
Yes, it's wonderful, wonderful.
So yes, Prabhupada knew the heart of every living entities. Yeah, thank you.
He's so special. He's so special.
Yes. Thank you. I'm just going to put my lordships to rest there. So
Thank you so much. Thank you so much
for a wonderful class, and thank you so much for all of you participating. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Babaji.
Hare Krishna, Mamata, so wonderfully sang.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mamata Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. All your blessings. And thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful lesson.